Welcome to this tutorial on finding the equations of the altitudes of a triangle algebraically, thereby being able to determine the ordered pair of the orthocenter. Now when we go to find each of the three altitudes, be careful. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the equation of a line that goes through a point perpendicular to the opposite side. So for example, if we wanted the altitude that went to side AB, we're going to use point C, which is 8, 11, in conjunction with the opposite reciprocal slope of side AB, and that would be 1/2. Hopefully you see where that's coming from the picture. Once we have that, we will plug into y equals mx plus b to solve for b. So the 11 is equal to 1/2 times the 8 plus the b. Use your calculator as needed, although this one should not be bad. Looks like b is just equal to 7. So the equation of this altitude would be y equals 1/2 x plus 7. Okay, so now we're going to move over and we're going to try to find the altitude going to side BC. So scroll back up. Now we kind of get rid of this picture that we already drew and try to visualize what's happening without looking at that and without considering it. So we're going perpendicular to side BC, which means we need to use vertex A, going through A perpendicular to BC. A is -2, 5. Need to be perpendicular to BC, so our opposite reciprocal slope will be relative to 12/7, which will be a -7/12. We now plug into y equals mx plus b, solving accordingly. So the y is 5, the m is -7/12, x is a -2 plus b. Again, use your calculator as needed, but 2 divided by 12 simplifies to a sixth. The negatives become a positive. And 30 minus 7 would be a 23/6. Use your calculator if needed, but mental math can be a good thing. So y equals -7/12 x plus 23/6. One more equation that we need for an altitude, and that's going to be to side AC. So we'll go back up to the triangle. If we're doing side AC, we need to use point B. So it's going through the point 1, -1, and it'll be going perpendicular to the side AC, which means our opposite reciprocal slope will be relative to the 3/5. In this case, that opposite reciprocal will be a -5/3. We will plug into y equals mx plus b to solve accordingly. The y is a -1, the m is -5/3, our x is 1. Oh, let's work this out. -5/3 plus b, we add the 5/3 to both sides. -1 plus 5, this is really -3/3 plus 5 should be a 2/3. And therefore the equation of our final altitude should be y equals a -5/3 x plus 2/3. Okay, so those are the equations of our altitudes. If we want to find the orthocenter, we set up our system of equations and put each of them into it. Y equals a 1/2 x plus 7, y equals -7/12 x plus 23/6, and y equals a -5/3 x. Let's write that a little bit nicer. Y equals -5/3 x plus 2/3. Again, I like to pick the two nicest ones. We can debate about that, but I'm going to say the top and the bottom one are the two nicest equations. Use the transitive property. Their left-hand sides are the same, so the two right-hand sides have to be equal. Ooh, we want to multiply through to clear out the fractions. Need something divisible by both 2 and 3. So 6 works pretty well. 6 divided by 2 is 3. We'll get 3x. Don't forget to distribute to the 7, so that'll become 42. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so this will be a -10x. 6 divided by 2, or excuse me, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Get the x's on one side. Get the numbers on the other side. divide out to solve for x, and we get a value of x being equal to negative 38/13. So now we're going to plug back in and try to verify that all three y values are the same and determine what that value of y would be. So sometimes what I do is I just simply set each of these up and then go to the calculator and cross our fingers, hoping that we didn't make any mistakes in solving the problem. All three y values should be the same, and on a test or a quiz or any other assignment, I would want to see verification of the plug-in and the fact that all three y values turn out the same. If they don't, go back and try to find your mistake. If you can't, partial credit is always possible. Maybe it's a really silly mistake that you have a hard time even seeing. So now we're going to type each of these three things in our calculator one at a time and hope for the best when we do that. And I'm just typing all three of them in at once. Oh! And all three of them turn out to be the same thing, so I get excited at that. The y values would be 72/13. And all three of them appear to be 72/13. So then our y coordinate is 72/13. And when we come down here to write out the orthocenter, it's going to be that ordered pair. Negative 38/13, comma 72/13. Be organized. Don't go so fast that you make silly mistakes, but yet work efficiently enough that you're not taking forever, because it's really 3 Algebra 1 problems glued together and then solving a system of equations at the end. If you stay organized, you should be able to find the Orthocenter.